Hey everybody, welcome to Adobe Live. My name is Flynn. We would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, and we would also like to pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Here we are back again with another Adobe Live here from Australia. See some people in chat over at behance.net/live, which is the chat that we'll be using today. So if you want to come in, say hi, ask questions. We've got a lot of topics we're going to cover today. We're here for an hour with Bianca in just a moment. I see Festus, Golden Rose is here. That's great. Johanna is here. Be Creative, Digital Design. Daphne, lovely to see you. Feel free to ask questions as we're going along, guys. Uriel as well. Lovely to see you. Yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere else, jump over to Behance, say hi. Let us know where you're from. We're going to have a good time today with Bianca. Speaking of which, let's bring Bianca on. Hi, Bianca. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. That was a bit different to the way that we've always started. It's like the Flynn show for a second for my ego, so I make my screen big, and then I get to get involved before we bring the guest on. But it's lovely to see you again. It's been a while. I think we had you on in maybe February or something like that. So it's been a while.
Yeah, has. How was your Easter weekend?
It was good. Yeah, I went down the coast here in Australia and spent some time with the family. Super cool. It's really great. Very lucky that we're able to do that at the moment.
Yeah. Apparently Queensland's kind of in lockdown now. Am I wrong?
Yeah, here in Australia, I think so. They might have been. I'm not really sure. You can tell we pay attention to the news. But shout out to our Queensland friends. Let us know how you're doing. Hope you're doing well, regardless. How was your Easter long weekend?
It was really, really chill. Like we went for a nature walk on the Saturday at the national park. Is it the national park? The one down south, like near Cronulla. And then on the Sunday, we went for a barbecue or like a picnic at a lake north. So it was very like nature-y, which was cool.
Oh, nice and refreshing, nice and relaxing. Good kind of break there. I can see some more people in chat. RB's in the chat as well. It's great to see you all. But yeah, so portrait illustration is what we're here to chat about and talk about. So we did actually try to have a live stream yesterday, but the internet gods decided that they were also going to have a long weekend, and just decided that there was just going to be no internet in like my entire area. So yeah, internet was out. So here we are. We're here today, and we're going to be back tomorrow. So yeah, 2 days in a row.
Lucky me.
Let's do this. And Bianca was a champ, and even though yesterday didn't happen, she's very kind to offer her day today for us and to hang out with us. So thank you so much.
Oh, of course, you're good. Always enjoy these. Should we run through it? Because I'm just hyped that I actually fleshed out my Behance. So if any of you guys have Behance.
Nice.
Are you?
What was that, sorry?
Are you screen sharing now? I could show my Behance.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I can jump it over whenever you're ready. Yep, cool. All right, let's check it out.
Look at this. It just looks so great. Like, nice and flush. I spent all last night doing this.
Nice.
So check me out. I'm Bianca Beers on Behance, guys. Apparently, it's like a really good platform, which I wasn't aware. What were you saying, Flynn? Is it SEO?
Yeah, we were chatting about the SEO that is like, big part of Behance. We're just chatting about like artists, like freelance designers and artists and things, just anecdote. Now, full disclosure, Adobe owns Behance, so take that what you will. But definitely anecdotally, a lot of artists and illustrators that we've had on Adobe Live have mentioned that they actually get quite a lot of work, particularly from like American clients on Behance. So, and that was separate to you. Fixing yours up and adding some more recent projects. I just sort of mentioned it because it has come up a lot. A lot of people have sort of mentioned it. So maybe that's something to consider if you're an illustrator or designer out there. It's definitely been a lot of people that have had some success.
Yeah, and I did too. I booked a gig on the weekend through Behance as well, which I wasn't aware of. A friend was telling me that, like, it's all good and well to post your art to Instagram, which is dope, but it doesn't show up with what is it? I don't know how to word it, but SEO, whatever. It doesn't have SEO, whereas Behance does. So I just like popped in a bunch of my work from Instagram over there. And finally, we've got one. And I wanted to show this guy because I want to do something similar today, if it's going to load. So this was just like, I want to start a Polaroid series. So portraits of friends in a kind of Polaroid format. So I'm going to do another one today, which, we're going to get started on. So I'll take you there. All right. So this is just a new file that I've preloaded. I'm just going to add a square, fill it with black. And then it's just the quickest way. Merge. And I've saved a little Polaroid PNG from the net. So I'm just going to place it in there. There it is. Oh, it looks like let's see. Oh, okay, beautiful. I want to center it right.
Oh, cool. So it's like a PNG, like a Polaroid PNG.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a PNG. It was a PNG, but it had a background. Like, you know, when it says it's a PNG, but it's a spike out because it's like got the squares behind it.
It's like someone saved the original PNG, but then someone saved it as a JPEG or something, and it has the checkered background.
But it was saved as a PNG. It's like they're so tricky. They're so tricky. But so I just hopped on and removed the background before we did this. I'm just going to drop the background behind there. I don't know if this is the color we're going to go with. And from libraries, which I do this often with our lives, I'll do an outline of the image that I want to draw ahead of time in my sketchbook. And then with my phone using Adobe Capture app, which is free to download, I just take a photo and it converts it to a vector. And then it's available on your Adobe Cloud, and then you just drop it into your artwork, which I've just done.
Is there any particular way that you need to take the photo, like to be able to use Adobe Capture to, like, you know, press that auto generate button to create this? Like if it's really dark or really light, is there anything to avoid?
There's like a toggle, and it picks up more or less of the image. So if it's really faint lines, you toggle up so it grabs it, but it also grabs more around the image as well, like whatever's going on if it's not a blank page. So you just kind of got to fiddle with the toggle and see where is like a good point for this particular shot that you're taking, and also make sure it's kind of parallel and not tilted, because then it's going to come up skewed a bit.
Right. Cool.
So I dropped it in, I've rasterized it, so now it's a layer that we're going to work from. I'm not going to use it as the final outline, I'm going to create my own, but just drop it in there for guidelines. Helps things be a little bit quicker. Color, so we're going to go in with, I forgot I was going off the image here on my phone, so I need to put that up.
Nice. So that's something you do quite a bit, right? Like you'll have a reference, you just use your phone and kind of draw from that.
Yeah, it's easiest. But sometimes I'll put it on the screen as well, so I have it side by side with the artwork. The only annoying thing about that is it takes up space, so it often gets in the way.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bit more this way, like that. Okay, cool. Now we're ready to rock and roll.
Nice. Getting into the singing portion of our Adobe Live. I love it.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. When I was promoting the our live yesterday on my Instagram, I was talking about like the topics we could kind of cover, you know, regular art stuff. But the first thing I mentioned was astrology. I'm like, we could talk about astrology, my inspiration, my creative process. And then when I was watching it back, I'm like, can't believe I said astrology first. It was a joke, but not really.
It's top of mind for you. Was it you were having like a conversation about it, like with astrology, that like a lot of people will get into it kind of as a joke, and then like after a while you're like, oh, actually I'm really into this?
Yes.
My memory serves.
That has definitely been my experience. Yeah. It's just fun. It's a bit of fun, you know what I mean? Okay. My brother's like a hardcore science type person, and every time I talk about it, he's just like, oh, Bianca, please, not in front of me.
That's what brothers are for.
Yeah. I'm just using one of the pens from, what's his name? The guy that does the free brush kits.
This will be Carl T. Webster, I'm going to guess.
Yes, it is. Yes. So I'm just using one of his wet media brushes, or special. Is it one of the special ones? No, it's a wet media brush.
Nice. And we'll mention it now because it's always going to come up. What are you using to draw? Like, what device are you using?
This is my Microsoft Surface Studio.
Yep.
It's really good. It's a massive, massive screen, so I just draw directly on, which is really fun.
Nice.
No going back now after this.
So it's like a bigger screen and you're drawing directly onto the screen itself. You found that's the best way to work?
Oh, of course. It's amazing. I love it. I don't know, is it technically, you probably don't know, but people refer to it as a tablet, but I consider it a desktop because it sits on your desk. And it can handle a lot. Like, usually tablets can't handle too many programs at once. I don't know the technical things, like how many, what is it, RAM or whatever it has. I really know a lot. I know
just
what
got
I'm
a lot of SEO.
about.
Yeah.
I wonder how. Yeah.
Nice.
It's popping off. I've got that talk actually this weekend at a California university. So on Saturday, which I believe is their Friday.
Awesome.
I'm a bit excited for that.
So what are you gonna talk about?
It's just weird. You don't know what you're talking about. The topic is getting the gig. So it's just about booking jobs, I guess, like jobs that you would like to get on or clients that you'd like to work with, which is really, really cool. I feel like I have a lot of luck getting the gig, even though I'm not necessarily that massive of an artist.
Do you have a link to the talk? Is it like a free talk, or is it for the students, or?
It's for the students. So it's ticketed for them. The tickets are free, but you have to be one of the students. So
isn't that an interesting moment in the world that we're in at the moment? How like you're speaking at an event in California, because of course everything's digital, right? Like just jump in Zoom and they've got you from Australia over there talking to them. It's kind of cool. I can't really imagine that really happening, a year or two ago.
Yeah, it's great. But it also sucks because like stuff like that has been popping off, which has been really dope. But other things like live events haven't been happening so much, which has been a blow to my income, because I'll often do stuff like workshops or like live drawing at events.
Yeah.
And there aren't that many events right now, so yeah, it's a shame in that regard. Because I like getting around and like speaking to people, not just online stuff. It's really cool to meet people, like-minded people, fans, other people in the industry. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it has sucked on that front, but we try and make the best of our situations. This is like the least fun, actually. With art, I don't know if a lot of people are the same, but my least favorite part is definitely like getting the shapes down. My favorite is the coloring, like getting the rendering all the time.
Right.
It's always been my fave. And a lot of artists said they feel the same way. So I wonder if it's a universal thing, not just people who like color.
Is it more like because it's work? Like, is it more work to do like the shapes part to get it right? Like you have to be very exact, whereas color you can be a little bit more creative and say, oh, I don't like that, and just quickly change it because of the digital aspect of the whole thing.
I guess it depends on approach, because if you were drawing, you can choose to make it like a not a literal interpretation. Do you know what I mean? So it depends. You get me? Like, so I guess maybe it depends on the type of artist you are. If you're someone who, with me, the part of my drawings that are less realistic are the colour. I really make stuff super saturated and I'll change stuff up, and I actually don't like it to look too realistic with my shading, because sometimes it just feels like, what's the point if it looks like a photo, which is what I used to do when I first started art, but it has less colour, character. It's just like, what's the point if you can just get a photo, you know, put a bit of yourself into it.
True. Just checking in with chat. Festus is asking what's the college? What's the uni college? What do we call it? College? It's like, is it just you talking? So you've got your camera and your microphone and gonna chat? Do you have to like present anything? Like what's your preparation?
No, I don't have to present. It's great. It's actually a panel. So it's 3 of us, a bunch of creatives, designers, and then they haven't really prepped me. They were just like, come talk on this. So I'm assuming they're going to get questions from the crowd and questions just from them, and then the panel will just go through, you know, whoever wants to answer at the time can. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
That's a bit of an assumption, but you know.
That's right. Panels are cool. I've always found panels like to be super easy.
Yeah, like I've never actually done a panel before. I've emceed and been interviewed or Q&A'd, but I've never actually been on a panel. So this is the first for me, which is nice.
I mean, if you've emceed a panel, you know, I think that's a useful thing to have done to help you to help you go on a panel, because you know how, because a lot of it's up to the MC. I think if they're really good at getting around to everyone, making sure that one person doesn't like kind of take over the whole thing, or you know, you gotta, it's quite a tricky balance, I've found anyway.
Yeah, I feel like the MC has the hardest job, to be honest, out of everyone.
Yeah, it can be.
On the panel. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited.
That's cool. What's your like big bit of advice? Like if it's about getting work, what's like we're cheating a little bit, so sorry if anyone from the university is watching. We're going to get a little insight.
That's what this is for. Like ask whatever questions you want. But I reckon I was thinking about this in the shower last night, because I was like, what would be my number one tip? Because I always say be yourself, which is really, really, it may be my number one tip, because people recognize when you're not being genuine. Right. And people are going to gravitate you more when you are being genuine, and they're going to gravitate towards you, which means you're going to get more opportunities and more connections. And it's like, it's kind of sad, but it's not all what you know. It is a lot of who you know. And for me, like I grew up pretty poor, to just be really blunt, and I didn't know anyone in the industry or whatever. Like I found now being in the industry, a lot of the people I meet actually have been well off their whole life, or have had connections their whole life. And so it's quite common, which just goes to show like how much it pays to know people or have money. But I got really lucky in that I met like someone in the industry by chance. And then we became really good friends. And then just from that, you start meeting other people, and you just got to be open to meeting people and just like being nice to people as well. Like not to say to get anything in return, but it goes a long way, because people will remember you and then think of you when a project pops up, or, you know, stuff like that. My first gig designing was for Platypus, the sneaker store. And that's because I've worked in the store as a salesperson in their George Street store. And they knew that I was starting to get into art, and I was a good salesperson. So they were like, you want to give it a crack, design something for our Valentine's campaign? And I was just like, okay, cool. So then like my first client was actually a pretty big company, which helped. But that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't a hard worker at work, which is not related to my art whatsoever, and wasn't bubbly and open to talking to people and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the important thing. Like, there's always that aspect of luck, but you also have to be like like
But the
approachable.
luck, you make the luck because you need to be approachable. Like, I know that many artists that are really, really dope artists, but they are really poo-poo about like, oh, I don't have Instagram because it's not like, you know what I mean? It's not the culture for me. And they're wondering why their work hasn't got out. And it's like, bro, you need to put yourself out there. Like, you need to put your work somewhere people can see so that they can find you. And if you're not interacting on, say you do have Instagram, but you're not posting or you're not interacting with other creators or collaborating with people or anything like that, then like nothing's going to happen. People don't just come to you and drop into your lap. You need to work a little bit. So I would say, like, obviously have talent, but there's people that are more talented than me that haven't, you know, had any clients like that. And it's because they don't want to network or they're too shy or whatever. So if you're freelancing, you really need to be your own PR, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my number one tip. Be approachable, be friendly. And
I like it. I think it's very true. It's a bit different for the globe. I mean, maybe it's not a bit different for the global stage, but industries are surprisingly small. Like it seems like everybody on the planet, like if you're an illustrator, and it's because of algorithms and stuff, doesn't really help this kind of impression that we originally might have, especially when we're kind of getting into an industry. It's going to look like everybody has it sorted. Everybody's super successful, and there's just hundreds and thousands of, like, millions of people kind of doing what you're trying to do. But actually, the more like you spend in a particular industry, you'll notice the same names popping up a lot. Notice like a lot of people will know each other or have worked together, and I think it's really important to like remember that. It's very important to be nice to people and approachable if you can, and things like that. Can be hard for some creatives who are introverts and things like that, but there's there's other, it's an important skill, I think.
I find introverts do really well on social media because it's like loses the stress factor. You know what I mean? So I know a few introverts who are super amazing with socials because they can reply to people and have the confidence, whereas in real life they may get overwhelmed. So you just got to find the space where you're comfortable to like connect with people, but like you need to connect with people.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
That's true.
Yeah, number one tip. But yeah, like fully, artists that I used to really, really look up to when I was just starting out, I met at Adobe Max, and now we're mates and we're connecting and we're loving each other's work. And, you know, you realize how small the world is. Like these people are in LA or Miami or New York. So yeah.
That's true.
Important piece of advice, I would say.
I like it. Who did you look up to?
I don't know how to say his name, but Rascal is like I think he's French, a French artist. He does like bright kind of pop arty type stuff, and he does a bit of like mixed media. So he'll have like a photo and then illustrate over it.
Yeah.
He's featured on the Adobe, you know, when you open up a program and it shows like an artwork. I would love to get featured on that one time. Who do I speak to about that?
Yeah, you know what? I've been asked a bunch of times, and I'm like, I don't know these. I don't know these sorts of things. I wouldn't even know who to ask. It's an interesting one because it has come up a couple of times. I'm like, yeah, I got no idea. They're always pretty phenomenal artists.
Yeah, really, really dope. Like really sick. This is actually really cool. Something that someone at Microsoft told me. So you know how you can get a computer and it has like pre-loaded wallpapers and screensavers and stuff?
Oh yeah.
Any old computer. So with Microsoft, I don't know if it's the same with Apple or whatever, but with Microsoft, you can put your art up as a downloadable wallpaper, which I've got it costs money though. I think it's like $500, and you can put up a series of your artworks and people can download it either for free or they can pay for it. I haven't properly looked into it, but I'm looking into that because it's a good way to get your work out to people that like aren't in your school of life, I guess. I don't know. School of thought, social bubble, whatever. I thought that was really cool. So that's another tip as well, just like thinking outside the box for how you can get your art out.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, that's a great segue into something that I noticed that you posted to your followers when you were talking about this, which is NFTs. So we haven't actually spoken about it at all on Adobe Live, but of course NFTs are like using blockchain at the moment, and it's kind of taking the world by storm. Particularly for artists, like to sell digital artworks. Well, we won't get into the semantics of it, but yeah, selling like digital artworks or a version of the digital artwork to someone for like Ethereum and Bitcoin and all that sort of stuff. It's really interesting for me because my sister has a gallery, so she's in the art world. Obviously, I'm in the design world, and they're just converging. And so now we're just like talking every day. There was one recently by Beeple. Which was sold at Christie's, and because when I went down the coast, I was chatting with her basically the entire time. We're just like, what is this? This is crazy, like kind of throwing both of our worlds, mashing them up together. Very interesting time. So what's your take on it, and have you done an NFT, or do you plan on doing an NFT? What is Bianca's mind on this?
So my friend actually got me into it because she was one of the first in Australia to create one with Foundation, which is like, there are a few different platforms where you can post an NFT to. Some of them are for anyone and some of them are invite only. And Foundation is one of the most esteemed invite only platforms for NFT. Right. So he invited me and I popped my first one up maybe 2 weeks ago. And it was actually an artwork that I just wanted to see what could happen with it. So I put the reserve, you place a reserve price, so the minimum amount you want to accept. And then once the reserve price is met, a live auction starts for 24 hours so people can bid against each other, and then the winner obviously gets your piece of art. I put my reserve price at 0.3 Ethereum, which is about AUD, like $650. And that, like, the standard reserve price that most people are putting stuff up for is like 1 Ethereum, which is $2,500, which is just nuts. And some of the work it's all about luck. It's like, if that one person that really, really loves that specific thing that you've done manages to get their eyes on your work and they have the money for it, it's all luck. But if you end up being promoted by Foundation, then your work is featured and you obviously get more eyes on your work. So, yeah. But it's crazy. Like, some artworks that are created by someone who's not very well known, and their art, I would say, it's not for me. Like, it's not that great. But someone's bid like 10 Ethereum on it, or 11, which is like $20,000. So it's a cool space because it's giving the power back to artists, where, I don't know, but for people like me who work a lot with brands, you often have to sacrifice a bit of your vision or what you want to do, like maybe branch out a bit or try something new. And you kind of have to cater to the brand's idea of who you are and how you fit into their model. So a bit of your art is diminished a little bit, whereas with NFTs you can create for the joy of it and then post it up and like hundreds of thousands of eyes get seen. So it's kind of like galleries back in the day, but you don't have to pay a rental fee to have your stuff out there, and you don't have to, I mean, it'll get out to more people because it's not located in one spot.
Right. Yeah.
So I love it. But there are a lot of concerns about the environmental impact, because to keep the blockchain alive, there's like all these computer farms out there running and putting up electricity. But I think the community is really, really conscious of that, and I feel like they'll have a solution to that really, really soon.
Right.
So yeah, my take. I'm all for it. I love it. I think it's giving the power back to creators, and the community is really supportive and helpful. So since I've been on there, I've connected with so many different creators that I never would have met or heard of. So yeah, really cool. I like it.
Cool.
So my second NFT is up right now, actually. I posted it up on Sunday, and I've yet to receive a bid, but I will. I have faith.
Nice.
A lot of it's about being patient. So yeah. And yeah, that's on Foundation, which is it's a really cool app.
Cool. Love to hear about it in chat as well. Like, what do you guys think? Has anyone bought an NFT? I think a lot of the Adobe folks have that are on Adobe Live. I think I saw, can't remember now, but I saw some of the folks posting some stuff. I think they're selling artwork on there as well, like digital artwork. Like, it's quite a gold rush, I think, at the moment.
Yeah, literally. They're saying there's a bubble right now, and the bubble will pop eventually. But once it does, it'll just like there's this thing. So to put the artwork up into the blockchain, you have to pay this thing called gas, which is just paying for it to be uploaded and converted into an NFT, like it gets minted. And the gas fees right now are pretty high. Initially, they were about $20 AU, and now it's at about like 150, depending on where Ethereum sits against the dollar at the time.
Right.
So people often rush to get their NFT done when the Ethereum value has dropped.
Right. Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So it's also the same time that people will be buying because they get better bang for their buck.
Yeah. Interesting.
So yeah, it's really interesting space to navigate. Like, it's a bit foreign, but it's really cool. Like, really, really cool. And if someone buys it, I think you pay a little fee as well once they buy it, and they pay a gas fee. And then you have your little Ethereum wallet, which is a separate app. So you need to get your wallet before you can post anything up or create accounts, and it just syncs up with all your platforms, which is really dope. And it keeps it there. You can withdraw your money or withdraw your Ethereum for actual cash, which they refer to as fiat.
Right.
I don't know if I'm butchering it, but yeah. It's cool. But I'm just, like, the Ethereum I made, I'm just letting it sit there because it's most likely only going to go up in value.
Right.
So that, I made that $700 on the other one, which was dope. Like, it was an artwork that I made about a year ago, and I specifically made it just for my Instagram grid because it was looking a bit dull. So it was nothing I was ever thinking I was going to profit off. And so to be able to make some money off that was really, really dope. So yeah, it's a cool space.
Nice.
A lot of people were asking me that because I posted to my story on Instagram asking people what they'd want to hear on this chat. And a lot of people were like, NFTs, what it is, how it works. So right now I'm just drawing alternate lines because I didn't like the one that comes from the capture is a vector, so the lines are really smooth, and I want more sketchy vibes. So just doing that now, and then we can drop that away.
Yeah, nice. So the original like sketch outline, like the vectors that have come through, is that going to make it through to the final artwork?
No.
Like, will you keep that, or you'll eventually? So you kind of get rid of that, and then you'll redo the lines with, like, you know, obviously the textured kind of brush like over the top, so it's all Yep.
I sometimes do it this way. I was telling you before we hopped on live that a lot of the time I'll just draw with the shapes. So I won't do an outline first. I'll just like look at the image and see what shapes each color's making. It's a different way to observe, but it takes a lot longer. So just for the sake of the people watching, I pre-did a bit. Just because it can be, I find like watching someone color is a bit therapeutic, but watching someone draw lines, if it's taking ages, is just not fun at all. Well, that's me anyway, because I love colour, so I don't know if that's just a personal thing.
Yeah, cool. Just checking with chat again. Spencer's saying there are also some other NFT sites that have a fraction of the gas costs, which are based on proof of stake. It's so interesting that we're like talking all this like stock market / tech language these days. It's so interesting. I feel like everyone overnight has become like literate with it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It is
when did this happen? Is it from the whole Reddit thing? Because that's when I started getting into almost everything like this.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's lots of people that are out there that, you know, have been interested in it for a while, but yeah, it seems that way. And I think like the apps where you can like micro, you know, buy and trade like a lot easier these days than you could even a year ago. Seems to have like popped up and become really popular. And I think the draw of like overnight becoming a millionaire or something is attractive to people, I think, for some reason.
Yeah. Who knows why, but you know, it just seems to be working for a lot of people.
People want money.
They want money and they want it fast.
Money and want it now. Yeah, so that makes heaps of sense. Johanna asked a question. Yeah, actually we didn't ask this. But who is the person you're drawing? Is this a friend? Is this like someone that submitted it to you?
Yes, so this is a friend. Well, she's not a friend. I follow her on Instagram and she follows me back. So we're besties. Obviously.
Internet friend.
Yeah. And I ran this competition a while ago. So I often, like maybe once a month, I'll run a competition for someone to win a free portrait, just like to kind of give back to everyone. And she won randomly, which is dope because I had always wanted to draw her, but I don't know, never had. Because she doesn't have photos on her Instagram that like are very drawable. They're all kind of and even this one kind of isn't, but I was like, well, I can make it work. So yeah, she won it. And then I asked her to send me a photo and she never did. So I just went on Instagram yesterday and I was like, look, at least I can draw it. And I'm like, it's multitasking. I'm doing the Adobe and I'm doing the thing that I said I would do.
Nice. I love it.
Which is, we love it. Efficiency.
That's smart. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's it. That's the story.
Cool.
So hopefully by Thursday we will be able to finish it and it'll be dope. I might do a little bit. What are we on? We've got like 20 minutes.
15 left. Yeah, 15. So we finished at 10:25. So 15, yeah.
Cool. All right. Make that work.
Yeah, so there was a follow-up question from Johanna. How might someone get a Polaroid done from you? Are you taking commissions? But you mentioned about once a month you'll do one, like, so I guess follow Bianca and throw your name in the hat.
Yep. I do them about once a month for free, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on my commission load. But you can also commission me as well, whatever you want to do.
Nice.
And it doesn't need to be a Polaroid vibe. This is just something I wanted to do a series of, but like, I don't know.
Something different. It's cool.
Yeah. I find as well, like, especially when you're just creating for like social, people get bored of the same old thing, even if it's amazing. So you need to mix it up a little bit if you want to keep engagement going, which has been like drawing blood from stone recently. And I've been speaking to a lot of creative friends and they've just said that like Instagram's just been so difficult to get traction and get things moving recently, which is a shame because it's such a great platform for visual accounts and any creator that's just like, I mean, it's a bit more difficult for audio, like musicians, because their work isn't so visual unless they have like a video clip or something, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It's a visual platform for sure. But yeah, it's been kind of hard for me, like in terms of traction, but I've been getting a lot of I don't want to make this all about Instagram, but we're just on the topic right now. Free to ask a question. I've been like my following has been increasing like crazy, but it's funny, like back when I had maybe 5,000 followers, so half as many as I have now, I was getting more interaction with my work they're doing now. And a lot of creators are having the same experience, and it can deflate you like heavily, and it makes you think like, am I not progressing? Am I not as good as I used to be? Like, and you get a bit of imposter syndrome and all that type of stuff. So you kind of got to keep your head above it all and just realize sometimes it's the algorithm.
Yeah, for sure. It changes so often. It's kind of hard to keep on top of it.
Yeah, and not even that, but also just not drawing, which is hard because I definitely am not good at this, but not drawing your personal sense of success or worth based off likes or, other people's praise. That's so hard.
Yeah.
I find. Different people, different things. But for me, that's a struggle.
Yeah, nice one. There's another streamer, Fresh Cake, who streams on here. Festus is just saying, he's also been getting into NFTs and has sold a lot. So that's cool as well. So yeah, it seems to be. I mean, my feed's filling up with it. I know a lot of the photographers that we've had on. Benjamin Lee, who's coming on soon. He'll be coming on Adobe Live sometime soon. We're just chatting about that session now, and yeah, I've noticed his feed. He's been creating like looping GIFs, like looping animated GIFs, like almost cinemagraphs. And like those seem really popular as well. Like a little bit of motion. It's super interesting time. I've definitely seen a lot of creatives like dipping their toe in, or some people like really jumping into it and going, yeah, I'm gonna like super get into it. It's because it's just, there's nothing to lose. Like, it's so dope. Yeah, especially people you could like dig through your like archive, like you did. You found something like from a year ago that you know, hadn't sold, like, not sold, but like wasn't a commission for.
There was no intention to make it. Yeah, there was no intention to make money there.
Yeah,
I just thought, why not?
So cool. Yeah, I can imagine like a lot of creatives kind of going, oh my god, I've got this use for all these like crazy ideas or third draw down ideas that I just did or whatever, and now maybe it's going to see the light of day, or maybe it can be this thing. Interesting. Cool time. Yeah,
it's nuts. It's great. I just want to see where it goes. Hopefully it doesn't like backfire in any way, but you never know. Time will tell.
Yeah.
Festus said he sold a few. I wonder what type of like NFTs he's creating. So I'd be really interested to know, and what platform he's using.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Let us know. I'm just showing highlights now, so we have a bit of some interest going on. How long do we have? Like 10 minutes? 5 minutes?
10 minutes.
Okay, that's fine.
That's super cool. I love the texture of the hair.
Oh, thanks. It's still not finished, obviously, but as well, I'm actually liking it with this extra outline, but we'll see. I might not at the end. It's just a bit, I don't know. We'll see once I've got the shading. That's the good thing about working in layers, baby. You can change your mind and it doesn't affect anything.
And you could come back to the stream tomorrow, right? You come back to the stream tomorrow and be in a different like frame of mind, like a different mindset.
Yeah,
and go, you know what? I'm not feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah. That should be down here. Also good to label your layers. Outline 1. I think this is outline 2. No, it's not. It's a highlight as well. Cool. What's this one? Shading. This is the outline too. Okay. All right. Resume.
And we got about 10 minutes left, guys. So if there are any other questions or anything like that, let us know. We will be back tomorrow to continue finishing this off. We'll have more questions. Bianca's going to tell us where the talk is. Which would be cool. And yeah, we'll pick everything up. tomorrow. So yeah, if you have any questions here, or if we missed any, we can always ask them tomorrow too, and hang out same time, same bat channel, same bat time.
Is it the same link? Yes. No.
It's a different.
That I put on my story.
No, okay. It's a different link. Yeah, different link, different like events, different permalinks.
And you can't use the same one, because I know the one from yesterday you were mentioning. It's the same one that we used today for us.
That's because I moved the times, so it's still the same like event, like all the details are the same, except you can just kind of go in and change the time on YouTube and Behance. Whereas tomorrow it's like a completely separate event. So if we move that, it will work. But once it's done and it's permanent.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And it goes, someone was asking me, and they weren't able to make it for this time, but they were asking, does it go anywhere? It goes on YouTube, is it?
Yeah, well, this lives here, so so this will live at this link. So the link in everyone's URL, if you're watching this on Behance, is just permanent. That'll just stay the same. It's a little bit harder to discover old content, like even from a week ago, because there's so many people streaming on Behance.
Yeah.
It gets buried really quick. Whereas on YouTube, we have a playlist that's just every Adobe Live we've ever done. And so so that link just remains permanent. And then if anyone wants to go check that out or see like-minded, you basically just see it in order, one after the other of each one that we've done.
Does it what's the word? Suggest? So if you watched a video, does it suggest a creative who's similar or no?
Yeah, it does all that stuff. So it might suggest, you might watch your one here, and then it might suggest one that you've done in the past or another illustrator. But that's all like YouTube's algorithm and search and SEO and all that sort of stuff, which is all obviously owned by Google. So that there's a lot of information in there. If you just shop for washing machines for 2 weeks, you're going to probably see videos of washing machines, But it'll suggest content from us and from other people, all that sort of stuff.
I've been realizing that heavy recently. Like I'll talk about something with a friend, and next minute it's all over my everything.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
Every single app I open. It's cool, but it's scary as well. To some degree. Sorry, is that bad to say?
No.
Let's do some more. So as I mentioned with my color, I like to do way more vibrant than it is and not exactly real. So because it's not what you're seeing, it's kind of trial and error as well, because something might look too much or whatever. So you kind of just go as you go. That's kind of right.
That's super cool. I love the white highlights. It's really subtle, but they add a lot.
They do. You can have the flattest image, and the minute you add a little bit of highlight, it looks big already. But a bit more shading is always fun.
Festa says, this sketch is so good, I believe I would recognize the person if I passed her on the street. Yeah, it really does.
I feel like that's not true. So, we'll see. We'll see. I find when it's flat, it doesn't look very much like them, but then once the shading's done, that's probably where my eye is more so than. So I can make up what I missed with the lines with the shading. Probably. I don't know. Yeah,
you're probably a bit more harsh. You're probably a bit more harsh on yourself.
Oh, that too. Isn't every creative isn't that the law?
Yeah. And when it comes to color, did you have a planned out kind of, group of colors that you're using here? Because I noticed you're using the color picker quite a lot. So just a lot of trial and error.
I kind of end up, I use the color picker so much that I know which colors I like. So it's basically the same. I almost use this exact same pink every time, but I just know where it is.
Right.
On color picker. Yeah.
That's great.
Some colors I just know that I like that one and I know where it is.
Yeah.
But others will just be trial and error, which is often like stuff I add in, like the color of the background or like flowers or spray paint, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ow. I've been hurting myself a lot recently. Like walking into things and hitting myself. I don't know what's going on.
Look both ways when you cross the street for us.
You know, yeah, that's one thing. I'm lucky I have my boyfriend. Otherwise, I'd be dead because I never look, and I'm always just about to get hit by a car, and he pulls me back.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You worry me sometimes.
I'm not. I'm just head in the clouds type person.
Right.
And I always have been, which is cool for creative reasons, but it sucks when it comes to like trying to get by. Like evolution was, if we hadn't evolved past evolution, I would be dead. Luckily, we have technology and all that stuff to help us out. Maybe like this. Is this on its own layer? I'm going to add a new layer. Oops. I like to do like a lot of red and pink on the nose and the cheeks and the fingers, just because stylistically I like it. But my mom actually hates it. She says it makes them look like they have a cold. You win some, you lose some.
We've only got a couple of minutes left, maybe a minute left. So what's the plan for tomorrow to finish this off? Like, what are the steps?
I may do a little bit more rendering this afternoon, just so that there's less of that and we can do a bit more different fun things tomorrow. Finish rendering, add some stuff into the background, maybe some like pretend spray paint, which is like something I do. I could show you guys that. Like finish it off, whatever I need to make it feel like, okay, it looks cool now. So it's as we go type thing. I couldn't say right now, but maybe a bit of flowers and spray paint.
Cool. I love it. Well, look, I mean, it looks awesome. It's so funny. Like I think once you're in like 25 minutes into this, I was like, cool, that's pretty done. But of course, obviously the more we watch and the more you put in there, it just like keeps obviously getting better and better. Which is super cool. Yeah, it's really great. But yeah, I think we're out of time for today. Thank you, everybody.
Yes. No. Yes. Hi. Sorry.
No, you're good. So yeah, check that out. That's awesome. We'll jump back over here. Thank you, everybody, for listening, watching, hanging out with us today. We'll be back at the exact same time tomorrow. We'll finish everything off. Thanks, Bianca. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me.
All right. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye, guys.